Hi everyone, Real Fish Talk here. Today I'm unboxing a new camera for the microscope. This is the Hayear Wallfront HY-2307. It runs about $120 to $140 on Amazon. It comes with an HDMI cable that provides up to 37 megapixel resolution. There's also a USB connection, and there's a power cable. The HDMI setup requires separate power. Or you can use the USB cable that has both power and computer connection, but only 2 megapixel resolution. There's also a remote control for some reason. These are a couple of adapters to fit the camera into the microscope eyepiece. And finally, we will have the camera itself. It's small, it's just a tiny aluminum cube, but it has some buttons and some functionality on the top of the camera. It's also very lightweight. So a closer look at some of these things. There's this mini disc and the very basic user manual. The HDMI and USB cables and that power cable. They have a nice length to them, so I was able to plug everything in effectively without too much cable clutter. And then again, that camera is tiny but packed. There's even like a micro SD card slot to save shots and video directly from the camera. These adapters are crucial for fitting the camera into the microscope. And then there's that remote control just for funsies, I think. Setup is super easy. Unscrew the cap on the bottom of the camera. Took me a second to figure out that it fully unscrewed. I thought it was just going to pop off. There we go. And then there's a protective film over the camera lens, so we peel that off. And then to this, we're going to install that 0.5x adapter, and this is crucial for setting the right focal length. So it just screws in, again, to the bottom of the camera. That's the little adapter. And it's threaded, so it's pretty easy to figure out how to screw it in to the camera housing. From there, we remove one of the eyepieces in the microscope. Those things fit pretty snugly, but you can just sort of pull them out. And when you do that, you'll find that the camera doesn't fit immediately. You need one of the adapters. The camera will just sort of like fall down in there. So this is why those adapters are included. They come in two sizes, 30 millimeter diameter and 30.5 millimeter diameter. And that, I think, should accommodate most microscopes. Of course, mine uses the small adapter, and the first one I grabbed was the big adapter, so that one doesn't work, but the small one will. And that just sort of slides in there. It's pretty snug, but it fits in there fine. And then you can slot in the camera itself. Go, and once it sits in there flush, you're good to go. From there, it was pretty easy to connect everything to the computer. I used the USB connection because I like the idea of having power and computer connectivity in a single cable. Plus, I don't have an available HDMI port in my computer, so the HDMI cable doesn't really work right now. And then my computer recognized the new camera immediately and I got a feed. From unboxing to live feed on my computer took about 8 minutes. Then it's a matter of adjusting the camera in the microscope settings, and this is where the problems show up. To get the best out of the camera, you need software to adjust things like brightness, white balance, digital zooms, you can save photos, that sort of stuff. So all those buttons on the top of the camera, all of that requires interfacing with software, and it's very difficult to get that software. The camera package, the box that comes in the mail, does not include the software, unless it's in that weird MIDI CD thing that I can't read. You have to go to the manufacturer's website and download the software, and when you do that, good luck figuring out what you actually need, because there's lots of different varieties. It's not clear which software you need, and even finding your camera model to help guide you through that process is not easy. Your camera model is not listed on the user manual, and it's not even shown in the camera housing. The only way I know the camera model is from when the computer and the camera connected. There's a device ID that popped up, and I think that's the camera model. It might not be. When you download the software, it's zipped up in some weird compression that my computer cannot read. It's a file format called RAR. It seems I need to download a third-party software package to uncompress the camera software installation package. It's very confusing. I think Windows 11 can read RAR files and uncompress them, but my computer cannot. It kind of feels sketchy. You know, I bet my IT department at work would have kittens if I tried to go through this process with one of our computers, like downloading software from different weird websites. So I'm trying to install this software without infecting my computer with a bunch of malware or viruses, or at least minimize the exposure to those things. Ultimately, I've not fully set up the camera. Some of the adjustments I need to make are from the microscope side, right? Things with like lighting, but others I can only do with the software that I don't have yet. So as easy it is to initially set this thing up, 8 minutes from unboxing to getting an image on screen, getting it fully set up is like pulling teeth. I'm going to keep working on it because, you know, we're trying to get the best out of this thing. I'm setting this up to have some plankton sorting streams on Twitch and to have plankton videos on YouTube. Highlights of the things we see on Twitch, that kind of thing. We'll talk about the plankton community, talk about why and how we do plankton sorting, how we identify larval fishes, what some of the larval fishes are, their early life history, ecology. And we'll talk about some of the non-fish plankton as well. I know less about those, but I'll highlight what I can. If any of that interests you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/realfishdoc. And thanks everyone!